Here we go again. Another ride, another conversation. Starting to build a pretty good habit out of these, and hopefully you guys are still getting something out of it and enjoying it. I was talking to a friend last night. Sounds like he accepted himself a job that he's relatively excited about. I'm excited for him. It's good to be excited for people and appreciate the friends that we make and the friends that we have and all those wonderful things. He was without a job for a very long time and would probably prefer to stay without a job for a very long time, but there's kind of the reality that we live in and the fact that it's hard to exist in modern society without a job. So therein lies the rub that we exist in. And so yeah, I just want to be excited for him, be like, congratulations, dude, you got yourself a job. That should be a good thing. You should be beyond thrilled about it. But he's like, ugh, I don't want to work. He's like, yeah, I get it. Nobody wants to work. Working is not the ideal way to spend your time. But there's, no way around it, so you ought as well try and make the most of it, or try and maybe find a way around it. Maybe there is a way around it, I just don't know. I've been so wrapped up in accepting the way that things are that I haven't ever tried seriously to do it differently. But at any rate, that was my small little congratulations this morning. Congrats on a solid interview and getting the offer, and I hope everything works out well there. Stinks because I'll probably be able to talk to him a lot less because he'll be working now. Like when he wasn't working, he was around all the time, and that was kind of nice to have someone who's just always around to talk to. Could get used to that. So, but it's okay. I can't be selfish and hog all of his time to myself, and I won't. I'm going to congratulate him for what he's done and go on with that. It looks kind of cool outside. I feel like I'm catching it right at sunrise. I don't know if you guys can see it very well or not. I try and get a decent enough amount of the window in the shot so that you guys aren't just staring at me. I have this cool Pokeball mirror dangler that I've been wanting to show in these shots, but it's hard to get like that in the shot and me in the shot at the same time. What I might do is like a multi-angle shot, and once I get the cameras that I want, or the camera that I want, then I can use this one to just get an alternate angle and use the like big boy camera, so to speak, to get a to get another angle. I don't know how imperative multi-angle shots are with the kind of videos that I'm making. Like I said, I modeled them after the kind of videos that Sam Sulek's making, and it seems to really work for him, and he's just kind of sitting down and talking, and people enjoy hearing him talk and listening to him enough. And so hopefully this can capture a similar kind of mood, and hopefully I really think what I need to focus on probably is getting another mic. Like, I haven't listened back on any of these videos recently, but like the last time I did some editing, I was just like, ugh, this isn't great. But it's not terrible, I don't think. It's just not great. So at the very least, try and see if I can, and maybe so Black Friday's coming up, and then you've got Cyber Monday and all that fun stuff, so maybe I can see if I can get myself another camera then, and another mic and all that stuff. And it depends on how much of a price reduction we're talking, because realistically speaking, I don't feel like the Black Friday deals are all that wicked wild or anything to really write home about. But a deal's a deal. Would you rather pay $700 for something or $600 for something? When I think of a deal that's worth me going out of my way to go purchase something for, Black Friday shopping, for example, it's got to be an insane deal. I'm talking 50% off or higher, and I don't hardly ever see anything like that. Or the product is marked up so much that even at 50% off, it doesn't seem worth its while. Ooh, this thing is normally $800 and now it's $400, and which is like, wow. But like what you don't see is that they marked it up before Black Friday so that it would be more than what it normally would be at 50% off. So like if an item is normally priced at $600, they'll mark it up to $800 like the month before Black Friday hits. And then when Black Friday hits, they'll say 50% off, and it'll be $400 at that point, when in reality you're only getting like 20% off because you're only getting the $200 off of the original $600 price. And so it's all a game, it's all a scam, it's just a method to get people buying stuff more, and the idea that these companies are in the red until Black Friday, I think is a dead thing, because that's what was originally idealized by it, is like the companies were in debt until the Friday after Thanksgiving when they finally started turning a profit, which is odd for me to fathom, because it's like you're only profiting off of 2 months worth of sales. Like that doesn't seem like a healthy way to run a business, if that's even the reality. Like it was advertised that that was the reality and that's where Black Friday came from, but is that actually where it came from? Like history is such a fickle thing, just like with wars or anything. History is told by the victor, and they can tell whatever story they want. And the same thing can be going for like holidays and all these things, and like we have no way of fact checking or verifying, and maybe we do, but like who's going to take the time to do that? Like you have to really be invested in the history of Black Friday to bother doing that. So I don't know, it's an odd thing, and like I don't want to take away from people's joy of Black Friday shopping. Like if that's something that you wake up Friday morning thrilled and ready to do, then please don't let me soil that for you, but it's most certainly not for me. But like it does help out sometimes when I'm like in the mood for something or shopping for something anyway, and then I can be like, hey, well maybe I can get it for cheap on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. But I don't really even like Cyber Monday, because like Black Friday I'm at least off, or typically I'm not working that day, and so then I have all the time in the world to go shopping and do what I need to do. But like Cyber Monday is the Monday before a long holiday weekend, and I'm just not in the mood to do any shopping at that point. And then like I feel like it's not ever easily like how do I want to say, it's not easily navigated, and so like there's just so much like not going in its favor. Like it'd be different if like Amazon, for example, had like site-wide sales, but for the most part I feel like all the stuff that I buy off of Amazon is not stuff that's ever on sale on Cyber Monday or Black Friday. And maybe that's because I'm a weird niche person who still buys physical music, and physical music doesn't go on sale that often unless it's like new vinyl, but new vinyl is way overpriced. Like never pay $35 for a new vinyl, that's silly. And so now we've got all these sales going on, and just a way to entice people to spend more money. And I mean, spending money is not necessarily a bad thing. It does feel pretty good to be like, hey, I earned this, I'm going to spend it now. Just do you need to rush out and buy all the stuff on the day that they tell you to rush out and buy all the stuff? I don't know. Like, are the deals worth it? Is the experience worth it? Because like, I mean, people pay good money for an experience, and in theory, in Black Friday, if it's an experience that you like, then like you're not really paying for the experience at that point. You're paying for the product, so you're like getting an experience for free and the product. So there's that, but it's just all a matter of like what's an experience that you are willing to pay for, and what's an experience that you enjoy. And like I said, don't let me be the one to stomp out your happiness and be like, ooh, Black Friday shopping is dumb. I mean, it's not for me, but that doesn't necessarily make it dumb or anything. But yeah, and of course with Black Friday comes Thanksgiving, and I haven't even talked about that, but I'm gonna put some food together for that, so there's not too much of a big deal going on there. But just an interesting time indeed, with a lot of things going on, and trying to figure out like what is going to be the next thing for me. How am I going to stick out in the world of YouTube, if at all? Like, am I just gonna perpetually make videos and just continually like fall to the wayside and just never be paid any attention to. And like, why is that? Like, is it because the videos are just absolute garbage and no one finds them entertaining? Because it's hard to not think that way when, like, a lot of the times you look up these video advice things and everything, and they're like, first and foremost, the videos have to be good. They have to be quality videos. And that is such a subjective thing to say, because, like, honestly, one person's entertaining video is another person's garbage. And so it's like, how am I supposed to know, like, what people will find entertaining about me and what people won't find entertaining about me? Like, the best I can do is to make a video that I think is entertaining, but then there's like a whole crowd of people who like other videos that I think are dumb or boring or what have you. And so it's like, at that point, like, then what? Do I just be like, whatever, I'm just going to make content and hopefully people eventually latch on? Or do you try and make content geared towards an audience? And like, it's a fickle thing, because like, you need to know who your audience is in order to make content geared towards them. And it's a good idea to know who your audience is regardless. But like, to the same end, like, if you just make content and hope to find an audience, then maybe that's the way to do it. Like, let your audience find you instead of always sinking them out. But there's no real rhyme or reason or way to do it. There's no 100% guaranteed way to get followers, and that's just life. There's no 100% guaranteed way to do just about anything, and the way you did it will differ from the way anybody else did it. And if it was a repeatable, easy to achieve, successful thing, then I feel like a lot more people would be out there achieving and succeeding at it. And like, another kind of reality about YouTube success is that like, a lot of it isn't this glamorous, you're making tons of money anymore. I feel like people are just making a full-time living off of YouTube. Like, YouTube has just become like an alternate job option, if you will. Like, people are obsessed with these celebrities like Mr. Beast or Logan Paul or all these people who have really just blown up in the world and started out just as YouTube personalities. And that's like absolutely a possibility, but like, they are the exception to the YouTube rule. Like, there's probably, I would be willing to bet that there's millions of creators on YouTube at this point, if not like tens and hundreds of millions, but at least millions. There's at least millions of video creators on YouTube at this point. And how many of them do we know that are celebrities outside of that platform? And there's not very many of them. And so it's like, people have this expectation that they're going to start this YouTube channel and then they're going to blow up into superstardom, and that's not necessarily going to be the case. It's not necessarily what I'm aiming for either. I would just like to finally have an audience to share my stories with and to share my novels and the things that I write. Would it be nice to make a full-time living off of YouTube? Absolutely. But like, at the end of the day, I just kind of want people to notice my work, if you will. And that maybe sounds conceited, but it's a truth, and a truth that I've come to accept. And if that makes me conceited, then I guess that's what I'll be. But to the same end, it's an interesting game that we all find ourselves wrapped up in, and trying to figure out like where we want to land. Like, do you even really want superstardom? Like, you might want the money that comes with superstardom, but do you want the life that comes with superstardom? Like, do you want to not be able to just go out and do stuff without the whole world recognizing you? And like, it is a horrible and miserable thing, and like, that's just the reality of that life, and kind of the risk you take of putting yourself out there to begin with. Like, you could put yourself out there with the intention, like I just said, of just getting a minor YouTube following and not really having anybody pay any attention to you, and then you could wind up being the next Logan Paul, and now you're like, well, crap, now the whole world won't leave me alone. What have I done? And you've just kind of made your bed and you gotta lie in it. But like, I don't think that that's commonplace. Like, it would be very rare for someone to blow up as much as any of those people did without putting the same amount of effort into it as they did, because I know that they probably put a large chunk of effort into being as big as they are. and it shows because they're huge. And so yeah, it's just an interesting way of finding ourselves and figuring out what we want in this life and what we want out of it and what we intend to do with it and all that fun stuff. And eventually we'll find our way and we'll be able to do what needs to be done. Like I said, I'm hoping that this here goal of mine for 2024 will be a huge step forward for that. I feel like every year is like a major step in the social media marketing direction for me. I don't love the idea that it's like a yearly thing. Like, I would like for it to just not just be a thing, but that's okay. I will endure, and I will let it take however long that it needs to take, because like for some people it takes years, some people it takes decades. I don't know that anybody gets famous overnight, but from the outside looking in, that's what it feels like. You just notice this person for the first time and it's like, dang, they've just always been these super popular monstrosities. It's like, no, that's not necessarily the case, but that's just where you have been introduced to their life, is at this point, and that's all you've ever known them as. And so just doing our thing, ready to make it a strong morning, and gonna go home and make some pies, do some of that stuff, record those videos, and try and make it a good day. Every day you gotta go at it trying to make it a good day, because if you go at it expecting it to be bad or dreading it or whatever it is, it's gonna be what you make out of it. And I'm always saying that your personal outlook, your personality is such a powerful thing, and if you go into a situation expecting it to be bad, then that's what it will be, because you have then made it bad. And so as you start your morning or end your day, or maybe you're at your lunch watching this video or whatever it is, I always want that to be the takeaway, to have a positive outlook and to keep positive. And it is amazing how much that can transform your experiences. So just remember that. Be aware of who you are and what you want out of this life, because eventually, if you try hard enough, you will get it. And that's something that I need to tell myself every day. It keeps me making these videos and talking to you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and are getting something out of it. I keep reinforcing that as if like I need some establishment. Maybe that's discrediting myself. Maybe I should just be like, oh, I'm awesome and own it. But I'm a bit of a modest person, so here we are. I'm pulling in, and I'm going to start my day. You guys are going to start yours or continue yours or keep doing whatever you're doing. And thank you for all that you do, and let's make it a good one.